Hello, everyone. My name is Robert, and today we will be talking about one of conservation's biggest poster children, or in this case, poster cubs, the tigers. Tigers are a charismatic representative of endangered mammalian species. Additionally, they are known to be an umbrella species, which is a taxon that, if conserved, results in the conservation of other taxa. So, let's talk about tigers and how they're likely to go extinct without proper intervention. But before we get into that, we need to define extinction, the types of extinction, and the red list. Starting with extinction. What is it? Extinction is the phenomenon in which there is an overall decrease in the world's biodiversity. In vernacular, this is the death of a type of living organism which, on a small scale of reference, refers to the species, and larger is for genera, or even larger. These larger groups can be used to show the lethality of the extinction mechanism. We can narrow down extinction to three categories: background extinction, mass extinction, and anthropogenic. Background extinctions are seen to have commonly occurred throughout the Phanerozoic era, which is the chapter in Earth's book which life has been observable, and they are neither consistent in the amount nor in the frequencies in which they occurred. These types of extinctions are known to have been caused by bad genes. Mass extinctions are whenever there is an extreme loss of diversity under a short geological time. This can be understood as the death of many species and/or clades under a relatively short segment of time. Such events are known to have been caused by bad luck, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, with genes having no effect on whether a species or clade survives or not. And that leaves us with the anthropogenic extinctions, characterized by the loss of species due to human interactions, whether they are direct or indirect. Some examples of these are the dodo bird, the sea cow, and if we're not careful, the tiger. Looking at modern day, organizations such as the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN, are devoted to preventing the further loss of species. To do this effectively, however, they needed to have an idea of which species would need to take priority over others. This is the purpose of the red list. This red list categorizes animals by the seriousness of their species' risk for extinction. On the red list, there are several different categories. There are those that are extinct, applicable to all species that have died off. Extinct in the wild pertains to species that can only be found in human-maintained facilities or areas. Any species that is critically endangered must be dangerously close to being completely absent in the wild. Endangered is a category for taxa at high risk for being extinct in the wild. The vulnerable category is reserved for taxa that are considered to be at risk for extinction from the wild. Near-threatened species don't quite qualify for the aforementioned categories, but it is expected of them to be given time. There is least concern, which is the category for taxa that doesn't warrant any immediate intervention. And then there is data deficient, which is the category on species we lack adequate information on. According to the IUCN and the World Wildlife Fund, Panthera tigris, or the tiger, is considered to be an endangered species. Currently, their numbers lie somewhere between 2,154 and 3,159. This is very concerning given that the tiger count from the year 1998 was some amount between 5,000 and 7,000. Now you might be wondering, how will they manage to do this? Can we really save tigers from extinction if their numbers are steadily decreasing? And the answer to this is, yeah, we totally can. But to get into how, we must address an important point, that the cause of the tiger's current situation are all due to human activities. both direct and indirect. Some direct interactions between humans and tigers include poaching for food and supplies, hunting for sport or training, and killing as a way to retaliate against previous attacks on livestock and humans. An example of indirect interactions between humans and tigers is the destruction and segmentation of their natural habitat. This fragmentation of habitat prevents a species from dispersing and limits the mate selection available to the group, increasing the rates of inbreeding and inbreeding depression. The end result is an overall decrease in the group's fitness, or rather, their survivability. This occurs whenever land is being cleared of naturally occurring life to be used as residences or facilities by us humans. Addressing the how of conservation. Currently there are many different efforts being made to help save this species. These include the removal of human hunters from the area, relocating tigers to areas uninhabited by humans, and the reconnecting of previously fragmented habitats. In 1972, the Wildlife Protection Act was passed in India, which sought to discourage the hunting of tigers by way of fees and imprisonment time. Around 2010 in Russia, the Tiger Summit was built in St. Petersburg, following the Global Tiger Recovery Program, as it served as a safe haven for tigers. Tigers are an endangered species that are important for the maintenance and recovery of many different species. With the current population being around 3,000 and decreasing, we may believe that an incredibly unfortunate conclusion could have occurred had it not been for the conservation efforts. If we leave species such as the tiger to become another tally towards anthropogenic extinctions, there is a risk that the entire ecosystems or even the biosphere could change into something less hospitable, potentially leading us into a human-caused mass extinction.